Have you ever looked back at your life and thought, if only someone had warned me earlier? Many people realize their biggest mistakes only when it is too late. Time has passed, opportunities are gone, and the heart is filled with regret. But what if today becomes the day that changes everything? What if today you discover the mistakes that silently destroy happiness, peace, and purpose? My dear friends, life is a precious gift from God. My dear friends, life is a precious gift from God. Every breath we take is a blessing, and every moment is an opportunity. But sometimes, without realizing it, we walk on paths that lead us away from peace, wisdom, and purpose. Not because we are bad people, but because no one taught us the truths of life early enough. Today I want to share something very important with you. These are not just words. These are lessons that can save years of regret. These are 7 life mistakes that many people make again and again. Mistakes that slowly steal our happiness, our relationships, and our connection with God.
If you understand these mistakes today, your future can become brighter, calmer, and more meaningful.
So listen carefully, reflect deeply, and ask yourself honestly, am I making any of these mistakes in my life? Because sometimes a single realization can transform an entire life. Dear friends, every human being wants 3 simple things in life: peace in the heart, clarity in the mind, and blessings from God. But strangely, even while chasing success, money, and recognition, many people still feel empty inside. Why? Because success without wisdom creates stress, achievement without gratitude creates arrogance, and life without remembering God creates restlessness. God has given us intelligence so we can learn not only from our own mistakes but also from the experiences of others. Wise people grow faster because they observe, reflect, and correct themselves before life forces them to learn the hard way. But themselves before life forces them to learn the hard way. Today I will share 7 powerful life mistakes that you must avoid if you truly want a meaningful, peaceful, and successful life. These mistakes are very common, yet they silently destroy the beauty of life. If you avoid them, your life will move toward wisdom, purpose, and divine guidance. Let us begin. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to forget the one who gives us everything the moment our lives get busy? We wake up in the morning, grab our phones, check our emails, scroll through social media, rush through breakfast, and hurry to work or school. The entire day becomes a checklist of tasks, deadlines, and responsibilities. Somewhere along the way, in this rush, we forget that life itself is a blessing, a gift given by God. We forget to pause, reflect, and acknowledge the source of all our abilities, all our opportunities, and even the air we breathe. Many people live as though life belongs to them, as though their energy, talents, and successes are purely the result of their own effort. And yet in quiet moments, when the traffic is heavy, but few someone or a loved one falls sick, or a problem arises at work, we suddenly remember that there is something greater than us, something that sustains us no matter what. That moment of realization is fleeting for most, because the next text, the next meeting, or the next distraction pulls us away. But what if we didn't have to wait for crisis to remember God? What if we could make that connection a constant source of strength, clarity, and peace? Think about your daily routines. How often do you thank God when your coffee is warm in the morning, when the sun rises, or when your child smiles at you? How often do we reflect that even the smallest joys, a friend's laughter, a delicious meal, or a simple walk in the park, are miracles in themselves? Yet we are often too focused on what's next. To notice them. This is the first life mistake, forgetting God in the busyness of life. It may sound simple, almost trivial, but it is silently draining us of gratitude, inner calm, and the guidance that could make every decision wiser. Consider the story of someone who has climbed the ladder of success in their career. Every day is filled with meetings, emails, and deadlines. The bank account grows, the house gets bigger, and the social media likes increase. On the outside, everything seems perfect.
The big scene.
But inside, there is a gnawing emptiness. Anxiety, stress, and dissatisfaction creep in. Why? Because amidst all the activity, they have stopped connecting with the source of all life. They have forgotten that achievements are meaningful only when they are aligned with values, purpose, and the divine guidance that teaches patience, humility, and compassion. Even in ordinary life, the mistake shows itself in small ways. A mother preparing breakfast for her children may forget to say a silent prayer of gratitude for the food on the table. A student studying hard for exams may forget to ask for clarity and patience in moments of stress. A young professional may forget to pause for a moment to reflect on the privilege of having opportunities that others dream of. Each forgotten moment is a tiny erosion of inner peace and perspective. Each day that passes without acknowledgement of God is a day that life's deeper purpose slips a little further away. The truth is, connecting with God doesn't require grand gestures. It doesn't require elaborate rituals or hours of meditation, though those are beautiful if possible. It can be as simple as pausing for a few moments in the morning to breathe and reflect. As simple as saying a quiet thank you during the day, as simple as offering a small act of kindness with awareness that it is a reflection of divine love. These moments remind us that we are not alone in our struggles, that there is guidance available for our choices, and that every small success is part of a bigger plan. When we forget God, life can feel like we are walking in a storm without an anchor. Decisions become harder, anxiety grows, and even joy feels incomplete. But when we remember God, even ordinary moments shine with meaning. Washing dishes can become a meditative act of gratitude.
A traffic jam can become an opportunity to practice patience. A disagreement with a colleague can be softened with the awareness that we are all learning and growing together under God's guidance.
The divine is present in every moment. The challenge is remembering to notice. Imagine if every morning we started our day with this simple intention. Today I will not forget God. I will seek His guidance, acknowledge His blessings, and let gratitude shape my actions. Even in the busiest schedules, this mindset transforms ordinary life into extraordinary living. The coffee tastes richer, the conversations feel warmer, and the pressures of life feel lighter because you are anchored in something greater than yourself. The busyness of life no longer becomes an excuse for forgetfulness. Instead, it becomes a reminder to slow down, reflect, and stay connected with the divine. The most inspiring truth is that it is never too late. No matter how many days we have forgotten, one conscious choice to remember God can change the rhythm of life. One moment of sincere gratitude, one prayer, one act of mindful awareness can shift a day from chaos to clarity, from stress to peace, and from emptiness to fulfillment. So, if you find yourself rushing through life, stressed, anxious, or restless, ask yourself, have I forgotten the one who made this day possible? Have I forgotten the one who made this day possible? Have I acknowledged the source of my strength, my opportunities, and my blessings? Because and we stop forgetting God, life stops being a race and starts being a journey. A journey filled with purpose, love, peace, and inspiration. And that, my friends, is the true secret of a life well lived. If you want, I can also expand all 7 key points like this into full 7. Today, let us dive into this truth 0 plus word motivational speech in Gaur Gopal Das style. So you will have a complete, ready to deliver inspiring speech. Do you want me to do that next? Time is the one resource that no one can earn back. Every second that passes is gone forever. Yet, so often we treat it carelessly. We scroll endlessly through social media, binge watch shows. We don't even enjoy gossip over matters that don't concern us, or complain about situations without taking any action. We tell ourselves, I have plenty of time, I'll deal with it tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes a week, a month, a year, and suddenly decades of life have passed by while we were busy chasing distractions. This is the second life mistake. Wasting time on meaningless things. Imagine life as a bank account. Every day God deposits 24 hours into your account. Every day God deposits 24 hours into your account. You can spend them wisely, invest in growth, relationships, and inner peace. Or you can squander them on trivialities, leaving nothing of real value for your future. Many people live as though time is unlimited. But in reality, each day is a loan from life that cannot be repaid. And the truth is, once a day passes without purpose, you cannot call it back. Look around you. How many people spend hours comparing themselves with others online, scrolling through curated images of perfection, allowing envy and dissatisfaction to creep in? How many spend late nights gossiping, arguing over unimportant matters, or obsessing over things they cannot control? These small decisions seem harmless at the moment, but over time, they silently steal the most precious treasure we have, our lives. Consider a student preparing for exams. Instead of focusing on their studies and preparing for the future, they spend hours watching videos, chatting endlessly, or postponing tasks with the excuse of just a few minutes. That few minutes becomes hours, and the hours add up. When results come, disappointment is not because they lack intelligence or ability, it's because they mismanaged their time. The lesson is clear. Every second wasted is an opportunity lost, a chance to improve, to learn, to grow, to get closer to the purpose God has given us. Even in adult life, the pattern repeats itself. A professional may complain about lack of progress in their career, but spends hours distracted by office politics, unnecessary meetings, or trivial tasks. A parent may wish to bond with their children but is glued to their phone, responding to meaningless notifications or caught up in endless errands without intentional presence. These wasted moments accumulate quietly, slowly eroding our potential for fulfillment, joy, and meaningful impact. Think of the moments we spend worrying about what cannot be changed. We stress about the past, fear the future, and fail to use the present. Each minute spent dwelling on regret or anxiety is a minute taken from growth, creativity, and action. God gives us time as a gift, but He asks us to use it wisely. Life is not about merely surviving the hours. It's about investing them in things that truly matter. Spiritual growth, personal development, relationships, and purposeful work. Even leisure, when not intentional, can become a trap. There is nothing wrong with resting, relaxing, or enjoying entertainment. In fact, God wants us to experience joy. But when relaxation becomes endless distraction, it is no longer rest. It is a waste. The difference lies in mindfulness. Asking ourselves, does this activity enrich my life, my heart, or my soul, or am I merely letting time slip through my fingers? Consider someone who finally understands the value of time. They begin small, setting aside a few minutes each morning for reflection and prayer. Dedicating an hour to learn something new, spending meaningful time with family without distraction, or helping someone in need. Suddenly, life changes. Days feel fuller, the mind becomes sharper, stress decreases, and inner peace grows. They realize that time wasted is not just lost hours, it is lost potential, lost wisdom, lost joy, and lost connection with God's plan for them. History teaches us the same lesson. Great people achieved greatness, not because they had more time than others, but because they valued every moment. Ordinary people remained ordinary because they failed to respect the gift of time. And this is a lesson for all of us. We do not need more hours in the day. We need more awareness of the hours we have and more discipline to spend them wisely. God gave you this day, this hour, this minute. It is a sacred trust. Wasting it is not just careless. It is a disconnection from the purpose He designed for your life. Every moment can be transformed into growth, love, creativity, or service. Even a small action done with intention and awareness can create ripples that change your life and the lives of those around you. So, ask yourself today, how am I spending my time? Am I feeding my mind, heart and soul, or am I feeding distractions? Am I moving toward my purpose, or am I drifting without direction? Because life is short and the clock is ticking, every wasted second is a chance that will never return. But the moment you choose to stop wasting time, to focus on what truly matters, life transforms. Your days become richer, your heart calmer, your spirit lighter, and your connection with God stronger. Time is life, and how we use it determines the quality of our lives. Wasted carelessly, and years pass in emptiness. Use it wisely, and every moment becomes a stepping stone to fulfillment, purpose, and divine blessing. One of the quietest yet most destructive mistakes we make in life is constantly comparing ourselves to others. From the moment we wake up to the moment we sleep, our minds are filled with comparisons.
We look at friends, colleagues, or strangers online and measure our worth, success, and happiness against them.
We see someone with a bigger house, a faster car, a better job, or a seemingly perfect life, and suddenly our own life feels inadequate. We forget that every person is on a unique journey, with challenges, struggles, and lessons we cannot always see. This is the third life mistake, comparing your life with others. Imagine two students sitting in the same classroom. One is confident, focused, and consistent. The other is constantly looking at their friends' achievements, feeling envy or questioning their own abilities. The energy of comparison consumes the second student, turning their focus outward rather than inward. Hours spent worrying about someone else's progress is time not spent improving themselves. Meanwhile, the first student, free from comparison, grows quietly, steadily, and eventually achieves success that is uniquely theirs. The lesson is simple. Your path is yours alone, and comparing it with someone else's path only steals your peace. In today's world, this mistake has become even more powerful because of social media. Every feed is a carefully curated highlight reel. We see celebrations, vacations, promotions, and milestones, but we rarely see the struggles, setbacks, and sacrifices behind them. When we compare our messy, authentic lives to someone else's polished snapshots, dissatisfaction is inevitable. We forget that what we see is only part of the story, and the more we compare, the further we drift from gratitude, contentment, and purpose. Even in everyday life, comparisons create subtle pain. A colleague receives a promotion, and instead of being happy, we feel slighted. A friend buys a new car, and instead of celebrating, we feel envy. A neighbor's child excels in school, and instead of encouragement, we feel worry or shame. These comparisons chip away at our confidence, cloud our joy, and distract us from the opportunities in our own lives. They silently cultivate bitterness, stress, and restlessness. Think of a person who constantly compares themselves in their career. They might work harder, but every achievement is overshadowed by what someone else has achieved. Promotions, accolades, and success lose their meaning because they are always measuring themselves against others.
9 against you.
This is a life spent chasing shadows rather than building a reality based on their own goals, talents, and potential. God has given each of us unique abilities, experiences, and timing. When we compare, we disrespect that divine plan. The antidote to comparison is self-awareness and gratitude. Imagine if, instead of looking at what someone else has, we looked at our own life and asked, what progress have I made? What blessings have I received? How am I growing today? Even small steps forward, when acknowledged, build confidence, peace, and contentment. Gratitude turns focus inward, empowering us to act on our potential rather than being distracted by what others are doing. Consider someone who learns this lesson. Every morning. They remind themselves that they are on their unique journey. When a friend achieves something, they celebrate genuinely, understanding that their friend's success does not diminish their own. When they encounter someone better at a skill, they see it as inspiration, not a threat. Slowly, life becomes lighter, calmer, and filled with appreciation for what they have and who they are becoming. Their energy is no longer wasted on envy or self-doubt. It is redirected toward growth, love, and meaningful action. Even in relationships, comparisons can be damaging. A parent may compare their child to others. A partner may compare themselves to someone else's partner. A friend may compare their friendship with another's. Each comparison creates unnecessary pressure, resentment, or disappointment. Listen to opportunity. It is an opportunity to be the best version of ourselves while uplifting others. The truth is, comparison is a thief of joy and a destroyer of peace. It blinds us to our strengths, magnifies our insecurities, and diverts our focus from purpose. When we compare, we are living someone else's life in our minds instead of living our own fully. God has entrusted each of us with unique gifts, challenges, and timing. Respecting this divine design means acknowledging our individuality, trusting the process, and focusing on our journey rather than someone else's path. Imagine the freedom that comes when you stop comparing. Life no longer feels like a race or a contest. Every accomplishment, no matter how small, becomes meaningful. Every struggle becomes a lesson unique to you. Peace replaces envy. Contentment replaces restlessness. Purpose replaces distraction. You begin to live authentically, act courageously, and pursue your goals with clarity and joy. So, the next time you find yourself comparing your life with someone else's, pause and ask, am I measuring my worth by God's plan for me or by the fleeting appearances of others? Am I losing precious energy on envy instead of investing it in my growth? Life is not about perfection, competition, or imitation. It is about embracing your journey, using your time wisely, and becoming the person God intended you to be. Once you stop comparing, you unlock the door to true happiness, inner peace, and meaningful success. One of the biggest mistakes people make in life is ignoring self-improvement. Many live day to day, going through routines, fulfilling responsibilities, and hoping that life will somehow improve on its own. They wait for opportunities to come knocking, for luck to favor them, or for someone else to teach them the secrets of success and happiness. But life does not work that way. Growth does not happen by chance. It happens by choice. Ignoring self-improvement is like planting a garden and never watering it, expecting flowers to bloom on their own. This is the fourth life mistake, neglecting the investment in yourself. Think about your mornings. How often do we rush out of bed, brush our teeth, and dive straight into the day without any intention of improving ourselves? How often do we scroll endlessly on our phones, consume information without reflection, or complain about circumstances? Instead of asking, "What can I learn today?" Every day is filled with small choices, and every small choice either moves us forward or keeps us stuck. Self-improvement is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong commitment, a dedication to being better today than we were yesterday. Imagine a young professional who dreams of achieving great success. They attend work daily, complete tasks, and meet deadlines, but never take time to learn new skills, refine their abilities, or expand their knowledge. Over time, they notice their peers advancing faster, gaining recognition, and achieving their goals. The difference is not talent alone, it is consistent effort towards self-growth. Improvement is not about sudden leaps, it is about small, persistent steps: reading, learning, reflecting, practicing, and applying. Ignoring these steps is like watching others climb a ladder while you stand at the bottom, wondering why life isn't moving faster for you. Even in simple daily routines, the lack of self-improvement shows itself. Consider a person who wants better relationships but never works on listening, patience, or empathy. They wonder why conflicts arise, why misunderstandings persist, or why people drift away. Self-improvement is not just about career growth or financial success. It is about becoming a better human being, someone who is wiser, kinder, and stronger in mind and spirit. Without growth, relationships, health, and happiness all suffer. Self-improvement also requires courage. It is easier to blame circumstances, complain about problems, or stick to old habits. Change feels uncomfortable, effort feels tiring, and growth often comes with setbacks. But those who commit to improving themselves embrace discomfort as a teacher. They understand that every challenge, mistake, or failure is an opportunity to refine character, strengthen resilience, and align closer to God's purpose. Avoiding self-improvement is essential. Choosing comfort over growth, stagnation over potential, and short-term ease over long-term fulfillment. Consider a parent who dreams of inspiring their children. They can provide comfort, education, and resources. But if they themselves are not learning, growing, and evolving, the lessons they pass on are limited. Children mirror not just words, but actions, attitudes, and habits. Self-improvement is contagious. It empowers not just ourselves, but those around us. Every book we read, every new skill we learn, every habit we adopt creates a ripple effect of growth that reaches our family, friends, and community. Even small daily actions matter. Waking up 30 minutes earlier to read a motivational book, practicing a new skill for an hour, reflecting on mistakes before sleep, or setting small goals each day are all investments in self-improvement. Over months and years, these tiny steps compound, transforming lives in ways that seem almost miraculous. But ignoring them is a choice to remain the same. Year after year, wondering why progress is slow or why dreams feel distant. Self-improvement is also a spiritual journey. God has given us intelligence, talent, and potential, but it is our responsibility to nurture and refine these gifts. Ignoring growth is like burying the gifts He has entrusted to us. Spiritual self-improvement, developing patience, gratitude, humility, and empathy, enhances every aspect of life. It allows us to handle challenges with grace, build meaningful relationships, and make decisions aligned with purpose and wisdom. A life without self-improvement is a life half-lived, a garden full of seeds that never bloom. The truth is, no one else can improve you. No one else can live your journey, develop your skills, or awaken your potential. Growth is personal, intentional, and continuous. Even when life presents opportunities, if we are unwilling to grow, we cannot fully benefit from them. Opportunities favor the prepared, not the stagnant. Ignoring self-improvement is essentially ignoring the very tools that can help us live a fulfilling, meaningful, and impactful life. So ask yourself, am I taking steps every day to become better than I was yesterday? Am I learning, reflecting, and growing? Or am I stuck in comfort, blame, or inaction? Am I honoring the gifts God has given me by investing in myself? The moment you choose to prioritize growth, every day becomes meaningful. Every challenge becomes a lesson. Every setback becomes a stepping stone. Every success becomes proof that commitment to self-improvement transforms not just your life, but the lives of those you touch. Life is short, opportunities are fleeting, and time waits for no one. Ignoring self-improvement is not just a missed chance, it is a life half lived. But when you commit to growth, even in the smallest ways, life unfolds beautifully. You become stronger, wiser, more confident, and more capable of fulfilling your purpose. You step into the life God intended for you, fully alive, fully prepared, and fully inspired.